Hello students, welcome to Coachify. Welcome to our today's Hindu Editorial vocabulary series. Let's begin. So here's the first word. Our first word says obloquy. Obloquy means हिंदी में बोले तो किसी को दोष देना, किसी को abusive language के साथ में दोष देना, and it is not by a single person, it can be by many together and can be especially by a general public. So that is obloquy. The root word says loquy, which means to speak. The words coming out of loquy is loquacious. When we say loquacious, loquacious means someone who is very talkative. It's an adjective for a person. And eloquent is a word which says that a person who has his way with words, who can express himself very strongly, very powerfully with the help of words. That is eloquent, an eloquent speaker. Usage says the constant obloquy took a toll on her mental health. Somebody might have been abusing, so that took a toll on her mental health. The politician faced obloquy from the public after his controversial remarks. And the next word is bellicose. Bellicose बनता है रूट वर्ड बेलम से, जिसका मीनिंग होता है वॉर. तो जो झगड़ा करना चाहता है, जो झगड़ालू नेचर का है, वन हु हैज़ लॉट ऑफ एग्रेशन टू फाइट ऑल द टाइम, वुड बी रिफर्ड एज a belligerent person, because bellicose and belligerent both are adjectives. Bellicose can be a behavior and belligerent can be a person, and when he behaves in a belligerent way, we can say that he was behaving bellicosely. This becomes an adverb, adjective, adjective. And the sentences say the fans became increasingly bellicose as the game went on, and she responded to his bellicose comments with a calm and collected demeanor. Our next word is euphemistic. Euphemistic एक बहुत पॉजिटिव वर्ड है. बहुत सारे वर्ड स्टार्ट होते हैं यू से, और यू से स्टार्ट होने वर्ड्स लाइक यूलॉजी, यूफेमिस्टिक, यूफेमिज्म, ऑल दीज मीन समथिंग पॉजिटिव. अभी पॉजिटिव इसमें क्या है, बेसिकली किसी को हमें कोई बुरी न्यूज़ देनी है या किसी को हमें कोई बात कहनी है जिससे वो ऑफेंडेड फील हो सकता है, उसको हम कवर अप करके बोल रहे हैं. तो जिस तरह से हम कवर अप करते हैं, दैट वर्ड्स विच वी यूज वुड बी रिफर्ड एज यूफेमिज्म, एंड द स्टाइल इज यूफेमिस्टिक एडजेक्टिव पार्ट. किस तरह से, जैसे सेइंग पास्ड अवे इज अ यूफेमिस्टिक वे ऑफ सेइंग समवन डाइड. रादर देन सेइंग कि ही डाइड, वी आर सेइंग ही पास्ड अवे. किसी को जॉब से हटाना है, रादर देन सेइंग दैट यू आर फायर्ड, वी कैन से you need to look for another job. For example, another one, the manager used a euphemistic term to explain the employee's dismissal. Okay. Our next word is culpable. Culpable word हम कहाँ से relate कर सकते हैं, हम culprit से relate कर सकते हैं. Culp is the root word और इसका मतलब है guilt. So culprit is someone who is guilty, और जिसके ऊपर हम guilt लगा सकें, जिसको हम blame कर सकें, that person would be referred as culpable. Culprit is the person who will be blamed, and exculpate का मतलब होता है, it can be termed as an opposite or an antonym for culpable. Exculpate, to get someone rid of his guilt or any blame, that is exculpate. The driver was found culpable for the accident due to reckless driving, and the company denied any culpable involvement in the environmental disaster. Okay. Our next word is ergonomic. Ergonomic में दो रूट वर्ड आ रहे हैं, ergo and nomos. Ergo means work and nomos means law or rule. तो when we say that we are doing something or designing something to make our workplace more efficient, more comfortable, then that would be ergonomic, an adjective. If we add s to that, then it becomes ergonomics. We can understand by the concept economic and economics. Economics is a subject in which we study economics, and ergonomic is an adjective. Ergonomics becomes a subject. So the process of making something comfortable to increase your efficiency becomes ergonomics, and ergonomist is a person who knows about ergonomics and who deals with all this would be ergonomist. Using an ergonomic keyboard can help prevent wrist strain. So it is basically increasing your efficiency, making it more comfortable for you. And the new car design features ergonomic seats for a comfortable driving experience. Our next word is a little long one, enfranchisement. Franchise means giving someone a privilege, and especially a privilege of voting. That becomes franchisement, enfranchisement, and we have the words coming out as franchise and franchisee. Franchise is the right given to a person to sell any product belonging to a company, and the person who gets that right will be referred as franchisee. Okay. So franchise and franchisee are the related terms with giving the right to sell a product of a company and all. How we can use it? The enfranchisement of minority groups expanded the electorate. Again, right to vote. And the long struggle for the enfranchisement of women finally achieved success in the early 20th century. When a person is deprived of the right to vote, that would be referred as disenfranchisement. Another long word along with this. Our next word is renegade. रेनीगेड का मतलब होता है कि कोई अपने रिलीजियस ग्रुप या पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप या अपने किसी ग्रुप को छोड़ के किसी दूसरे के साथ मिल जाए, राइट, दैट इज रेनीगेड, अ डिजर्टर फ्रॉम वन फेथ और एलिजियंस टू अनदर. दूसरा मीनिंग होता है कोई कन्वेंशनल सिस्टम को फॉलो नहीं करता है, अपनी सोसाइटी से अलग रहता है, अपने ग्रुप से अलग रहता है, उसको भी हम रेनीगेड बोलेंगे. रूट वर्ड नेगेट, टू डिनाई, मना करना किसी चीज़ से. एंड द वर्ड लिस्ट इज रेनीज एंड रेनिगेशन. रेनीज का मतलब इट्स अ वर्ब फॉर्म, तो जो इस तरह का काम कर रहा है तब हम उसे रेनीज बोलेंगे, और इस तरह के काम के करने को टू मेक इट इन अ नाउन फॉर्म द वर्ड वुड बी रेनिगेशन. द सोल्जर बिकेम अ रेनिगेड joining the enemy forces in the war, and the young artist was considered a renegade for her unconventional style, not following the conventional style. Our next word is persecution. Persecution का मतलब होता है किसी को individually or in a group a person is someone is mistreating them, treating them in an unfair way, and on what basis? On the basis of their culture, their religion, or even their beliefs. That is persecution. Even harassment and punishment can be referred as persecution, like the persecution of minorities. Our word list says persecute and persecutor. So persecute becomes a verb form, persecution is a noun, and persecute is a verb form. That method, that process of doing that would be referred as persecuting someone, and the one who is doing it would be referred as persecutor. The religious group faced persecution for their beliefs throughout history. He spoke out against the persecution of innocent civilians caught in the conflict. Our next word is vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities का मतलब हुआ कि कोई इंसान vulnerable अगर है, that means कोई उसको hurt कर सकता है, harm कर सकता है. कैसे? Emotionally कर सकता है, physically कर सकता है, mentally कर सकता है. That is vulnerability. That person is vulnerable, he can be easily attacked by someone on these basis. That is vulnerable. And vulnerate करना, that becomes a verb form, किसी को hurt करना. The software system had several vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers. The company is working to identify and address the vulnerabilities in its supply chain. Okay. Our next word is solidarity. Solidarity word बना है solid से. Solid मतलब something which combines to make a whole. एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग चीज़ बन गई. तो जब लोग आपस में यूनाइट करते हैं ऑन ए कॉमन इंटरेस्ट, दे बिकम, दैट ग्रुप कैन बी, दैट क्वालिटी कैन बी referred as solidarity, or it is also referred as mutual support within a group. They are helping each other, they are supporting each other in a group. That is solidarity. The word comes from the word solidus, which means solid or whole, and the words are solidify and solidification. Solidify means to make something solid or make something very firm. That is solidify, and that process would be referred as solidification. The usage is the community offered solidarity to the victims of the natural disaster. They formed a strong bond of solidarity based on their shared experiences. So after understanding all these 10 words, it's time for our practice. Let's see how we can use them in the context and understand them again. So as the world scrutinized the dash parties responsible for the dash, a wave of dash emerged among activists and human rights organizations. Let's stop here. It's a big sentence, so let's stop here. Now what kind of parties can be responsible for something? We are talking that something wrong has happened. So what kind of parties? The parties can be culpable, as the world scrutinized the culpable parties responsible for the something wrong they might have done. So responsible for the persecution. A wave of dash emerged among activists and human rights organizations. So these human rights organizations and activists are getting together for some cause. So that can be referred as solidarity. A wave of solidarity emerged among activists and human rights organizations aiming to address the dash of those affected. When we are talking about affected, so they have been affected, that means they had been vulnerable. So we can talk about aiming to address the vulnerability of those affected. This is the fourth one. The dash leader now facing international dash. Definitely leader भी कुछ गलती होगा. So what kind of leader? The renegade leader. The renegade leader now facing international obloquy, because कुछ तो उस पे blame आ रहा होगा, people might be abusing him, so we now facing obloquy, attempted to employ. Now he is trying to use what? He is trying to use euphemistic words so that he can cover up for whatever he has done. So attempted to employ euphemistic rhetoric to downplay their actions, but the global community remained steadfast in demanding justice. Okay, I hope the words are clear with the usage. And then we have another practice set just with 4 words to be filled in. I will leave that for you. Complete it and put it and drop it in the comment box. So that's all in today's editorial. I hope the words are clear to you. Wishing you the very best and thank you.